Hey Fit Family, I wanted to hop on here on our Rest Day Wednesday and talk through a couple of things with you. Last week we talked about nutrition, just a key component of nutrition, and that is my number one nutritional supplement. If you haven't looked at that post from last week, you can go back and do that. It'll be really beneficial, something super simple you can take. It's a supplement you can take every day to make better choices for your health. And it's a simple solution and it's awesome. So if you haven't watched that, go back and watch that. But today I want to talk about the verse that's in the top of our Facebook group. It's Psalm 66:16, which says, "Come and listen, all who fear God, and I will tell what he has done for me." And I chose this verse for this challenge group because I feel, and in my professional opinion, just being in the fitness industry, for some reason, Christians, believers, we don't always see or talk about our transformation when it comes to fitness and health. And I'm not exactly sure why. I don't know if it's because it's embarrassing for us, or we feel like we don't have a right to talk about our story, or whatever it could be. I feel like there's something that holds us back from sharing our story with others. And maybe it's because we want perfect over progress. And none of us are ever going to be perfect. I am not perfectly healthy. I'm still in baby making mode. And so my body is going to go up and down until I'm done having babies. And then, even then, throughout life, I'm going to have to go through the ups and downs of being active and eating healthy and figuring it out through each stage of life. And I think we so often get caught up in wanting to have the perfect worldly vision of what our physical body should look like and what our health life should look like, that we forget to just share our stories with others as we go. We are all in this together, and in order to be in this together, we have to share with one another what we're going through and how we're doing it. And yeah, we're going to have downfalls, and yes, we're going to have praises, and we're going to have months that are great, and then we're going to have months that aren't so great. But it's walking through all of this with one another, in fellowship with one another, just like we do with the church through the hard times and the good times. We have to do that with our health and fitness too, because otherwise, who's going to keep us accountable? How are we going to continue to work through these goals and meet these goals if we're not helping if we're not sharing our story so that it can help another woman to kickstart her health journey, to kickstart her wellness journey? And so I just want to talk about that a little bit today. And by doing that, I'm going to share my own personal fitness story with you, because I'm sure a lot of you actually don't know. You just know that I'm a trainer, but I walked through some really dark seasons in my physical and health life, and I want to walk through that with you today. And as I walk through my story with you, I want you to comment with your story too. You may not be where you want to be, you may not have had a big transformation in your life. That's fine. Comment with where you are. Comment with what the Lord is going to teach you through your health and fitness journey and being active to better glorify Him. Comment with that. Tell us how Christ, being the center of it all, is going to help you meet those goals. Because here's the thing, before I tell you my story, we could do all the diets, we could have all the fitness plans, we could do all the cardio, we could get the worldly image of the ripped woman, or whatever it is your vision is for the perfect woman and what she should look like. We could get to that. We could get to all of that. But if our heart is not in the right place, it is still going to be we are still going to be unsatisfied. And chances are you're sitting there and you're unsatisfied with where you're at in your health and your fitness lifestyle. And I want to encourage you to look to Jesus and have Him meet you there, because we can meet our goals, but if we meet them without Jesus, what's the point of it? If we aren't going through this and using fitness and nutrition as a way to honor the Lord with what He has given us, our bodies, because we are able to move, even if sometimes we have cricks and pains and, whatever it may be, if we aren't honoring the Lord with what we're putting in our bodies and how we are living a healthy and active lifestyle, then what is the point of it in this world? Honestly, what's the point of it? And I want you to think about that, because I think we get so caught up in what the world says our bodies need to look like that we forget what our Heavenly Father has said about our body being a temple. Our body is a temple of the Holy Spirit. And that's why we want to live a healthy and active lifestyle. That's why we want to be kind to our body and fuel our body the way it needs to run the best that it can run so that we can better glorify Him. And that's why we all know we need to be active and we need to be healthy. But until we know the reason why, the deep seated reason why you need to meet those goals, besides health, of course, if your doctor has told you certain things and, there's weight loss goals there, what is going to keep you motivated on the dark days to keep going? What's going to keep you motivated to wake up early to keep working out if you don't have your reason why? And this usually all comes back to somehow Jesus, because He is the reason why we are living, why we are active, why we are running around this world. What's your reason why? So you can post that in the comments if you want. When people don't know their reason why, they are more likely to fall off the train or to stop working out because they just give up. They're like, nah, I missed a day. I'm just not going to go back. Like, I'm a failure. It's not true. You're not a failure, by the way. I missed a workout today because I decided it would be more intuitive to read my Bible longer instead of work out, because that's what my soul needed. My soul needed that today. So think about that. Sorry, I'm getting off my pedestal now. I want to share my story with you. So I began running back in college, which is y'all may think I'm like an 18-year-old little girl, but I promise you I'm a lot older than that. And I have had a baby, so I am a lot older than that and not too far away from 30. But anyways, I just aged myself there. I started back in college running because it was the cool thing to do with all the people. I hated it. For those of you who love running, my girl Emily, she is in this challenge group. She loves running, and I love that she loves running. She's passionate about running. She loves to do half marathons and 5Ks and 10Ks and all those things because that is what is good for her soul and how she likes to move her body. It is not what's good for my soul. So, anyways, I started running and I hated it, but I kept doing it because my friends were doing it. And another one of my friends is in this group now. Her and I used to go running. I'm totally going to call her out on this. Lydia, we used to go running in college and we'd run around our neighborhood. I remember once I enjoyed running, and I'm pretty sure it's because I had a Popeyes honey biscuit right before. And so my body was like, yeah, let's go, let's go, let's go. And I actually enjoyed it. I was like running circles around her in our little neighborhood. But that was the only time I enjoyed it. And so when I graduated from college, I moved to Fort Worth, Texas to get my master's in Christian education. And when I moved, on campus, they had a CrossFit style workout class. That was 2 or 3 days a week. And I decided for some reason, the Lord compelled me that I needed to have a more active lifestyle. And if you've heard this phrase before, it was true. I was skinny fat. And what that means is I didn't have any muscle. Yes, I may have looked thin on the outside, but my body was not healthy like it should have been. It was composed of fat mainly, and I had zero strength, and I needed to get healthier. And I also needed to make healthier food choices because I knew my body wasn't feeling the best all the time. I wasn't sleeping well. I wasn't eating well. I remember drinking the frappuccinos from Starbucks and, getting sick afterwards and not knowing why. And so the Lord, as I moved away for the first time from my family, the Lord really impressed upon my heart to start working towards a healthy and active lifestyle. And from then on, because of the community in that group, like we have in our group, if you participate, the community is here and the accountability is here. That kickstarted my fitness journey. And then it was in 2017 where I continued this. And here's the thing. I started gaining muscle. And so for a semester, I just worked on my fitness. I didn't worry about nutrition. I honestly ate whatever. I ate the boxed pasta, and not that that's bad. I still, when I was pregnant, that's what I craved, the boxed pasta. But I did whatever I needed to do food wise cheaply because I was paying my way through my schooling and living in another state. And I had two jobs to help cover things. And so it wasn't until after that Christmas, my second semester there, that I really started. I went paleo, and I cut out everything. I really did. The only things I didn't cut out occasionally would were tortilla chips and Oreos and donuts. Let's be real, donuts for sure. And I went paleo, and I loved it. I loved the way my body felt. I slept better. Honestly, if you still have your periods, my periods were way better when I was eating healthier. And they still are today. When I eat healthier, they are way more mild. And even during menopause, if you happen to be going through menopause or you're entering it or coming out of it, eating healthier helps with those symptoms. And I also know that right now because I'm in a women's specific course and we talk about menopause in women and also cycles and all the things, hormones that women go through. And so I started paleo, I started eating, and then I became obsessed with dieting. I started counting macros, figuring out how I could count macros. I started trying to I started working out as much as I could. I started to eliminate certain foods in my diet, even though I was already on paleo, and started eating way less than I needed to be eating. And you know what? For a while, I saw results. But then I kept going. I kept trying to diet. I kept trying to do all the things. I kept trying to count macros at a deficit level. And the more I didn't fuel my body properly, the more my body was repulsed by it, honestly. And I gained a lot of weight. I was still strong. I had a lot of muscle, but I also had a lot of fat because I kept dieting probably for 2 years. 2 years, I was in constant diet mode, trying to find the next best thing. And I was still all the while trying to just do paleo, but also counting macros, restricting my calories, doing whatever it took to try and get that perfect image of the worldly, physically fit woman. And it backfired on me because I never gave my body rest. And it wasn't until I had graduated from seminary. It was one summer where I decided to stop dieting and I was working full time. I stopped exercising for a few weeks because my body was exhausted. And at the time, too, my job was very, very overwhelming. And we were changing the whole vision of the ministry that I was serving and I was leading. And it was very time consuming and taxing on me physically. And so I had to stop exercising for a few weeks. I stopped dieting for a few weeks and I just started listening to my body. And it was in that moment where things started changing in my body because I stopped eating at a deficit and I started fueling my body properly. And it was in that moment that things have changed for me. And now for years, I have continued to eat to fuel my body, not to exercise to earn my food. And that was the mentality. If I ate a donut, man, that was 400 calories. I need to go for a run. If I, you know, ate more carbs than I should have, dang it, I need to do a quick cardio workout so I could burn those calories off. That was my mentality. My mentality was food is earned by the exercise that I do. And that's not true. We exercise because we want to stay healthy and active, and we eat just to fuel our bodies properly so we can best glorify God. And that was the mentality I was missing for years. I kept searching and I was unsatisfied. My body kept gaining weight and I didn't understand why. And that is why a lot of times when I talk to women in these challenge groups or even my one-on-one clients, I say, "How much are you eating?" Because if they're continuing to gain weight, chances are a lot of the time, there's maybe been one or two instances where this hasn't been true, but a lot of the time, they have not been eating enough. And that's an issue because your body, your organs, your all of your processes are not getting the nutrients it needs. And that's what was happening to me personally. And so the Lord really used that time in my life to use fitness as a platform to grow deeper in my knowledge of Him and understanding why I needed to have a healthy and active lifestyle. And through that fitness, he he used the avenue of fitness to really teach me spiritual disciplines, how to be disciplined every day to get up and work out, aka how to be disciplined every day to get up and read my Bible and not push it aside, how to get up every day and choose to fuel my body in a healthy way, how to get up every day and to choose to worship the Lord even when I'm in a hard spot. Fitness became an act of worship for me to the Father. And that's where I want us to share our stories, because the more we share our stories with each other, the more we can encourage each other, but also the more you can see how the Lord is working in your life and your heart toward health and fitness. And that's what's really going to change things in your fitness life, is when you get the mindset of Jesus and a kingdom mindset, and you find that why, you ask Him, Lord, help me. Help me find why this is important. And He'll answer that. He has no problem doing that. The Lord will answer that because He wants you to be healthy and active. He wants you to live a long, fruitful life to glorify Him. And so that is my story today. I went a little bit longer. Please post in the comments your story. Tell me why. What's your why? Tell me your fitness story. Tell me, you know, whatever you want to share with us, please. We would love to hear your story. We would love to interact with one another. We are probably some of us are probably walking through the same exact things right now, but you don't know because we're not sharing it. And so I would love to open up the opportunity to do that here in this post. So please share your story. Say what God has done for you or what you're praying the Lord will do for you over even the next 5 weeks, the rest of the 5 weeks of this challenge group and beyond. What do you think He is doing for you? Or what are you praying He will do for you? Share with us, please. Bye.